Hello everyone, I am Tanya Bajaj, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Pharmaceutics at ISF College of Pharmacy, Moga, Punjab. Today I am here in front of you to discuss about the limit test for chlorides. Let's initially discuss what limit tests are. After that we'll perform the limit test for chlorides. And this practical is for diploma first year students. For that we should first know what are limit tests. Let us first define what is a limit. Limit could be defined as a certain value or an amount which is likely to be present in a substance. Test, if we talk about in layman terms also, it means to examine or to investigate something. Limit test therefore could be defined as a quantitative or semi-quantitative test which are designed to identify and to control small quantities of impurity which are likely to be present in the substance. In short, limit test is nothing but to identify the impurities which are present in the substance and to compare it with the standard. Let us now discuss what is the importance of these limit tests. The first importance is to find out the harmful amount of impurities. Since we are talking about impurities, they are naturally harmful, so we need to find out what quantity of these harmful impurities are present. Then the second is to find out the avoidable or unavoidable amount of impurities present in the sample. Let's now discuss what factors could affect these limit tests. The first factor which could affect these tests are specificity of the test. Any test which we use as a limit test, it gives some form of selective reactions with the trace impurity. A test may be demanded which will exclude one specific impurity, but highly specific test, not always the best, a less specific test which limits several likely impurities at once is also advantageous. This means that the test should be performed in such a manner that it should respond to a particular impurity. The second is sensitivity. The degree of sensitivity varies according to the standard of purity demanded by the monograph, and it depends upon number of variable factors. The next is the control of personal errors, which could also be known as analyst errors. It is essential to exclude all the possible sources of errors in the description of test. Let's see how we could do that. The first is test in which there is no visible reaction. A definite statement is incorporated in the wording of the test which states that there shall be no color, opalescence or precipitate, whichever is appropriate to the particular test, because in determining and in performing these limit tests, the reaction we usually visualize through these three kind of reactions only, that is either through color or through opalescence or through precipitate formation. The second is by the comparison methods. The test of this type require a standard which contain definite amount of impurity to be set up at the same time and under the same conditions as the test experiment. In this way, the extent of the reaction is readily determined by direct comparison of the test solution with the standard of known concentration. The test which we are going to demonstrate also will be done through this comparison method only, and this would be more clear while we would be demonstrating. The last method for this is quantitative determination. It is only applied in special circumstances, usually in those cases where the limit is not readily susceptible to simple and more direct chemical determination. The method is used in the following different types of tests, and those are: the first is limits of insoluble matters, the third is for the determination of limits of soluble matter, third is for the limits of moisture, volatile matter and residual solvents. Next is for limits of non-volatile matter. The fifth is for loss of ignition, to determine the loss on ignition. The next is to determine the ash value, and the last one is to determine the precipitation methods. Now let's discuss about the chlorides limit test which we are going to perform today in the lab. For this test, we require a few special apparatus and a few chemicals. What are those? Let's discuss. Apparatus to perform limit test we require is Nessler cylinders. We require two Nessler cylinders, one for the test solution and the other for standard solution. We require glass rod for stirring. We require stand to keep the test tubes. Then we require chemicals. For the performing the limit test for chlorides, we require chemicals as dilute nitric acid in the concentration of 10%, we require silver nitrate in the concentration of 0.1 molar, and we require sodium chloride. The principle for performing this test is based on the reaction of soluble chloride with soluble nitrate with silver nitrate, which would act as a soluble nitrate, in the presence of dilute nitric acid, so that it could form silver chloride, which appears as solid particles in the solution. See, here it is written opalescence in the bracket. As already discussed, that for performing these limit tests, we visualize the reaction only in three manners, that is either through color or through opalescence or through precipitation. For this procedure for performing this test is, we require test sample, we require standard solution, we require Nessler cylinders of 50 ml. One would be labeled with the test and the other would be labeled with the standard. Let's first discuss how we will prepare the test sample of our sample which we are going to test. The first method which we would be doing here, which we would be performing here is, take specific weight of the compound and it is dissolved in water or the solution is prepared as directed in the pharmacopoeia and it is transferred into the Nessler cylinder. After that, 10 ml of nitric acid is added and which is diluted to 50 ml in the same Nessler cylinder. Then 0.1 molar silver nitrate solution is added as 1 ml. Then the solution is kept aside for 5 minutes and opalescence or turbidity is visualized. While side by side we will be preparing the standard solution. For that we require 1 ml of 0.05 1 ml of 0.05845% weight by volume solution of sodium chloride in the Nessler cylinder. To that we will add 10 ml of nitric acid, which will be diluted to 50 ml in the Nessler cylinder. Further, we will add 1 ml of 0.1 molar silver nitrate solution in the same manner in which we added in the test sample. Again the same, it would be kept aside for 5 minutes and the opalescence or turbidity will be visualized. The observation which we will be getting or which we will be looking here after performing is in this manner. The opalescence produced in the sample solution should not be greater than the standard solution. If the opalescence produced in the sample solution is less than the standard solution, the sample will pass the limit test of chloride, and if not, it will not pass the test. The same we will now see while performing the test. Thank you. So now let's start performing our experiment of limit test for chlorides. For that we require the apparatus as Nessler cylinders, both labeled as sample and standard solution. We require the test tubes, a test tube stand. We require a beaker. This is a dropper. We require glass rod and pipette. Also we have measuring cylinder for measuring the quantity of chemicals. The chemicals we require are also already measured and kept here as 0.1 molar silver nitrate solution. We require nitric acid. We require sample and standard solutions which are already prepared and kept in the test tube. Now add 1 ml of test sample and standard solution into the respective Nessler cylinders. Now add 10 ml of nitric acid to both the Nessler cylinders. Now dilute the solutions in both the Nestle cylinders up to 50 ml. Now add 1 ml of 0.1 molar silver nitrate solution into both the Nestle cylinders. Now, after keeping both the Nestle cylinders aside for some time, we need to observe for opalescence or for turbidity, which we can already check it. The turbidity we can visualize in the standard solution, which is more than the sample solution. Now, after keeping them aside for 5 minutes, we can visualize the turbidity in both the Nestle cylinders, as it is clearly visible that turbidity in standard solution is more as compared to the sample solution. The standard solution Nestle cylinder is completely opalescent. Therefore, we can clearly say that our sample solution passes the limit test for chlorides. So now I hope the test is clear and everyone has understood the test. So you can now perform this test for the unknown impurities for chlorides on your own. Thank you.